Baba Kofi was the wealthiest farmer in his village. He was both revered and envied. His farm sprawled across the valley, lush with yams, maize, and cocoa. Yet, his greatest treasures were his children, Kojo, his firstborn son, and Abina, his younger daughter. From an early age, Baba Kofi's favoritism towards Kojo was evident. "He will carry on the family name," Baba Kofi would proclaim, lavishing him with the best education, fine clothes, and opportunities. Kojo grew up believing he was destined for greatness, often lauded at family gatherings while Abina quietly toiled on the farm. Baba Kofi's pride blinded him to the talents and potential of his daughter, who learned the land secrets and earned the villagers' quiet admiration. Mama Zara, the village elder known for her wisdom, often warned Baba Kofi. "Kofi, love your children equally. A tree with uneven branches falls in the storm," she said. Others, too, voiced their concerns. "Your son's arrogance will bring you trouble," other villagers often warned. But Baba Kofi dismissed their words. "Kojo is my legacy," he would say, ignoring Abina's quiet achievements and the warnings of his community. He always shouted at the housekeepers whenever Kojo complained about them. He never cautioned his son. As Kojo grew older, his sense of entitlement deepened. He returned from the city with tales of grandeur but little to show for it. He spent lavishly, gambled recklessly, and dismissed the villagers' concerns with a careless smile. Abina, meanwhile, grew into a woman of quiet strength. Though overlooked, she absorbed everything around her, learning from the land, the elders, and even her brother's mistakes. The balance of the Kofi household was tested when a drought struck Mbala without warning. Rivers shrank, wells dried, and crops failed. Baba Kofi's farm, the pride of his achievement, was not spared. Desperate to save his legacy, Baba Kofi called a family meeting. "We must work together to save the farm," he declared. But Kojo, uninterested in manual labor, dismissed the crisis. "Father, I have connections in the city. I'll bring in investors to save us," he promised, though he had no plan. Abina, sensing the urgency, took charge. She organized the farmhands, rationed the remaining water, and sought advice from neighboring villages. Her efforts brought temporary relief, but the drought persisted. Meanwhile, Kojo squandered what little resources they had left, throwing parties to maintain his image. When Baba Kofi questioned him, Kojo waved him off. "Trust me, father. I know what I'm doing." The villagers began to grumble. "Baba Kofi's pride will be his downfall," they whispered. Abina worked tirelessly, but her father's unwavering faith in Kojo left her feeling helpless. One evening, as the family sat in silence, a stranger arrived at their door. It was Mensa, a merchant with a reputation for exploiting the desperate. He carried an offer that would change their lives forever. Mensa's demeanor was polished, his words smooth, but his eyes betrayed a cunning intent. "I've heard of your plight, Baba Kofi," he began. "I can help you save your farm, but such help comes with a price." Baba Kofi, desperate to salvage his legacy, leaned forward. "What do you propose?" he asked cautiously. Mensa smirked. "I will lend you the money to recover your losses. In return, I require collateral, half of your land. Should you fail to repay the debt in 3 months, the land becomes mine." Abina's instincts screamed that this was a trap. "Father, this deal is dangerous. If we lose the land, we lose everything," she warned. But Kojo, eager to assert his influence, dismissed her concerns. "Father, this is our best option. With Mensa's money, I'll secure investors in the city. Trust me." Baba Kofi, torn between his children's opposing views, ultimately sided with Kojo. "A father must trust his son to lead," he said, signing the agreement with trembling hands. With the loan secured, Kojo departed for the city, carrying the hopes of his family and village on his shoulders. Days turned into weeks, and his promises of swift action began to ring hollow. The villagers grew restless, their whispers of doubt reaching Baba Kofi's ears. When Kojo finally returned, he was a shadow of his confident self. The money was gone, squandered on failed schemes, gambling, and frivolous expenses. "I was deceived," he confessed, avoiding his father's gaze. Mensa wasted no time. He arrived at the farm flanked by his men, carrying the legal documents that gave him claim to half of Baba Kofi's land. "Business is business," he said coldly, his eyes gleaming with triumph. The villagers erupted in outrage. "We warned you about Kojo's recklessness," they cried. Baba Kofi stood silently, his shoulders slumped under the weight of his failure. As Mensa's men began to mark the boundaries of his new property, Abina stepped forward. "This is not over," she declared, her voice steady. "We will rebuild, no matter how long it takes." Her determination ignited a spark of hope in the villagers. While Baba Kofi retreated into his home, ashamed and defeated, Abina began to plot a way forward. Abina gathered the farmhands and shared her vision, planting drought-resistant crops, implementing water-saving techniques, and pooling resources to ensure survival. "We must adapt," she said. "If we work together, we can overcome this." Her leadership inspired the villagers, who rallied around her with renewed vigor. Meanwhile, Kojo returned to Mbala, humbled and remorseful. "I failed you all," he admitted, standing before the villagers. Many were skeptical, their trust eroded by his past actions. But Abina saw an opportunity. "If you truly want to make amends, you must work alongside us," she told him. Under Abina's guidance, Kojo joined the farmhands, laboring in the fields he once ignored. He struggled at first, not used to the physical demands of farm work. But as the days passed, he began to appreciate the value of hard work and the resilience of the community he had taken for granted. Baba Kofi, meanwhile, watched from the sidelines, grappling with guilt and regret. "I placed my faith in the wrong child," he confessed to Mama Zara one evening. "I failed to see Abina's worth." Mama Zara, ever wise, replied, "Kofi, the branches of a tree grow at their own pace. Abina's strength has always been there, you simply needed to open your eyes." The farm's recovery was slow but steady. Abina's efforts brought not only survival but innovation. She introduced crop rotation and rainwater harvesting, practices that soon became the envy of neighboring villages. Her determination and resourcefulness earned her the respect of traders and elders alike. Even Mensa, who had profited from the Kofi family's misfortune, began to take notice. One day, Mensa approached Abina with an offer. "You've impressed me," he said. "I'll return the land if you agree to a partnership." Abina, though tempted, refused. "This land belongs to my family and my people. We will thrive without your help," she declared. Her defiance marked a turning point. The villagers rallied around her, determined to protect what remained of their heritage. Together, they transformed the farm into a symbol of resilience and unity, proving that even in the face of adversity, hope could prevail. Mensa, realizing he could not defeat Abina's resolve, eventually sold back the land at a fraction of its value. The news spread like wildfire, and the villagers celebrated the return of what was rightfully theirs. Baba Kofi, overwhelmed with emotion, publicly acknowledged his daughter's contributions. "Abina, you are the heart of this family. I was blind to your strength, but now I see clearly." As the farm thrived under Abina's leadership, Baba Kofi gathered the villagers for a grand celebration. "Today, I honor my daughter, Abina," he announced. "She has taught me the true meaning of strength and unity. Let her story remind us all that every child has value, and every voice deserves to be heard." The villagers cheered, their hearts full of pride and gratitude for the woman who had brought them back from the brink of despair. The celebration extended into the night, with songs, dances, and stories echoing across the valley. Baba Kofi, humbled and reflective, approached Abina as the festivities continued. "My daughter," he began, his voice tinged with emotion, "you have shown me what true leadership means. You've saved not only this farm but our family's honor." Abina smiled, her eyes glistening with tears. "Father, we saved it together. It's never too late to change and make things right." From that day on, the Kofi family was united in purpose and spirit. The farm flourished, becoming a testament to resilience, humility, and the power of unity. And in Bala, the story of Abina's triumph was told for generations, a reminder that greatness often lies in the most unexpected places. To ensure the lessons of the past were never forgotten, Abina started a village initiative, teaching the younger generation sustainable farming and the importance of community. Kojo became her most devoted student, eager to pass on the wisdom he had learned through his failures. Baba Kofi, now a humbled elder, spent his days sharing stories of Abina's courage, ensuring her legacy would inspire others for years to come. What was your highlight from this story, besties? Have you experienced this or know someone who has? Please share in the comments section, we can learn from it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to Folktales by IJ.